Good morning children. Welcome to online class. Today we are going to discuss electrostatics of conductors and dielectrics. First we are going to see conductors at the electrostatic equilibrium. Let us first consider one electrical conductor. Let us consider an electrical conductor. You all know that an electrical conductor has a large number of mobile charges which are free to move in the material. Next, I am going to consider one metallic conductor. Here, mobile charges are free electrons which are not bound to any atom. Therefore, free to move on the surface of the conductor. When there is no external electric field, the free electrons are in continuous random motion in all directions. So, there is no net motion of electron along any particular direction, which indicate that the conductor is in electrostatic equilibrium. So, at electrostatic equilibrium, there is no net current in the conductor. Okay, understand? So, we are consider, listen. If you consider here, there is no net motion of the electron along any particular direction, means that is we are considered as what? Electrostatic equilibrium. Okay, so that time there is no net current will be in the conductor. Now we are going to see the properties. The first property is electric field is zero everywhere inside the conductor. This is true regardless of whether the conductor is solid or hollow. Okay, whatever may be the shape we have taken, also listen. Here the electric field is zero. Suppose the electric field is not zero inside the conductor. Then there will be a force on the mobile charge carries due to this electric field. Then as a result, there will be a net motion of mobile charges. So listen once again, listen. When the electric field is not zero, the force on the mobile charge carriers will be experienced due to this electric field. Because of that, listen, net motion of the mobile charges will be taken place. Okay, so you know that, listen, this concept will be contracts the conductors being in electrostatic equilibrium. Okay, so we can say that the electric field is zero everywhere inside the conductor. Okay, this we can understand by using another one example. Let us consider one conductor here. Okay, so listen children, before applying the electric field, the free electrons in the conductor which are uniformly distributed in the conductor. Okay, before applying the electric field, listen children, let us consider this conductor alone. If you see here, the free electrons, okay, the free electrons in the conductor are uniformly distributed in the conductor. When you are applying the electric field, the free electrons are accelerated. Here listen children, if you see, the electric lines are moving from positive to negative. So inside this conductor, listen, this is positive, we are taken here, it is what? Negative. So this here the positive electric field attract all the negative here. Here listen, the negative will be attract all the positive here. Okay, so here this when you see here, the negative charges are accumulated here, positive charges are accumulated here. Due to this realignment of free electrons, there will be an internal electric field created inside the conductor, which increases until it nullifies the external electric field. So listen children, so if you are consider here, this what? Positive charge, here what? Negative charge. Okay, so you are consider one point here, the internal electric field due to the internal charges will be moving from out this direction. Okay, so listen, you already know that this is the direction of the electric field. Okay, so listen, the step by step the internal electric field value will be increases at one certain condition. Listen, both the internal electric field and the external electric field value will be equal. Listen children, at this point if you see here, both are acting in an opposite direction. Okay, E external here, E internal another opposite direction. So what happened? Nullify the external electric field. Okay, so the internal electric field nullify the external electric field. So the time taken by a conductor to reach the electrostatic equilibrium is in the order of 10 power minus 16 second. Okay, 10 power minus 16 second. Underline for 1 mark. Okay, so there is a concept will be taken place in the first point. Now come to the second point. There is no net charge inside the conductor. There is no net charge inside the conductor. The charge must reside only on the surface of the conductor. This we can see by using the Gauss law. Listen children, we know the formula pi is equal to, that is pi, that is the magnetic plus phi is equal to closed integral of E vector, or we can consider, listen, E vector dot dA vector is equal to, listen, Q enclosed by epsilon naught. Okay, in the first concept of the properties, we know that, listen, the electric field is 0. Okay, the electric field inside the conductor is what? 0. When the electric field inside the conductor is 0 means what? The electric flux also what? 0. When the electric flux 0, we can say that what? Inside the conductor also the charge is also equal to what? 0. Okay, understand children? So by using the Gauss law, okay, so by using the Gauss law, we can say that here electric field is equal to 0. So the electric flux also 0. So there is no charge, no net charge. Okay, there is no net charge inside the conductor. If you see this diagram, listen children, let us draw one Gaussian surface here. Okay. This Gaussian surface is drawn inside the conductor such that it is very close to the surface of the conductor. Since the electric field is 0 everywhere inside the conductor. The electric field is 0 everywhere inside the conductor. The net electric flux is also 0 over this Gaussian surface. Okay, so we can say that, listen, from Gauss law, this implies that there is no net charge inside the conductor. There is no net charge inside the conductor. Even if some charge if introduced inside the conductor, it immediately reach on the surface of the conductor. Okay, understand the second point. Now come to the third point. The electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor and has a magnitude of sigma by epsilon naught, where sigma is the surface charge density at that point. So listen here, the 2 points they are explaining. One is the electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. See, listen children here. If you consider this conductor, the electric lines are coming what? Perpendicular to this surface. Suppose this electric field is resolved into one parallel component and one vertical component. If the electric field has component parallel to the surface of the conductor, then free electrons on the surface of the conductor would experience acceleration. Okay, from this listen, it produces what? Acceleration. So from this we can say that this conductor is not in equilibrium. This conductor is not in equilibrium. Therefore, at the electrostatic equilibrium, the electric field must be perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Electric field must be perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Okay, understand children? Now, from this equation, the second concept we are going to prove that the electric field has the magnitude sigma by epsilon naught. For that, listen children, we have taken this diagram. Here, let us consider one small cylindrical Gaussian surface. One half of this cylinder, listen, this is one Gaussian surface cylinder. One half of this cylinder is embedded inside the conductor. Okay, you all know that, listen, for the cylinder, the curved surface and inside and bottom, the electric flux is what? The electric flux or electric field is equal to what? 0. Okay, so we can say that, listen here, the electric field is normal to the surface of the conductor. Okay, here listen, the electric field is normal to the surface of the conductor. The curved part of the cylinder has zero electric flux, and inside the conductor the electric field is zero, and the bottom part also, the Gaussian surface, has no electric flux. So that is also equal to what? 0. Okay, so we are getting the electric field only along this outward direction. Okay, only along this outward direction. According to the Gauss law, we can write here pi is equal to, that is, listen, closed integral of dA. What is the area here given? The total area is given as what? EA. So I can write here, instead of, listen, closed integral of E vector dot dA vector, now I can write here the answer is what? EA. Okay, so E is equal to Q enclosed. Okay, here listen, we can write here Q enclosed by epsilon naught. Here what is the charge enclosed in the Gaussian surface? Listen, that is nothing, Q into A. That is, listen, Q is equal to sigma into A. Because we know that surface charge density is equal to charge per area. Okay, so in the place of Q, I can write now from the above equation, I will get EA is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught. Okay, EA is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught. Once again, I can say here, EA is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught. Both the side AA value will be cancelled. Okay, from this we can say that, listen, the value of A on the either side will be cancelled. We are getting the equation in vector form. E vector is equal to sigma by epsilon naught into n cap, where n cap represent the unit vector acting outward normal to the surface of the conductor. And also you know that, listen children, when the sigma value is less than 0, then the electric field point inward perpendicular to the surface. Okay, understand? Now come to the fourth point. The electrostatic potential has same value on the surface and inside of the conductor. We all know that, listen, the conductor has no parallel electric component on the surface, which means that charge can be moved on the surface without doing any work. Once again, listen, the conductor has no parallel electric component on the surface, which means that the charges can be moved on the surface without doing any work. This is possible only if the electrostatic potential is constant at all the points on the surface. Okay, so this is possible only if the electrostatic potential is constant at all the points on the surface and there is no potential difference between any 2 points on the surface. Okay, understand children? Since the electric field is 0 inside the conductor, the potential is same as the surface of the conductor. Since the electric field is 0 inside the conductor, the potential is same as the surface of the conductor. Just at electrostatic equilibrium, the conductor is always at equipotential. Okay, so listen children, the electric field is 0 inside the conductor. The potential is same as the surface of the conductor. Just at electrostatic equilibrium, the conductor is always at equipotential. Next topic, electrostatic shielding. So in the previous class, by using Gauss law, we can prove that the electric field inside the charged spherical shell, if you consider charged spherical shell, inside the electric field value is equal to 0. Like that, the electric field inside both the hollow, okay, if you take the conductor as the hollow conductor or if you take the solid conductor. Okay, if you take the hollow conductor as well as, listen, solid conductor, here is also, listen, the electric field value will be equal to what? 0. So it is a very interesting property which has an important consequence. So let us consider one cavity inside the conductor. Whatever may be the charge at the surface or whatever may be the electrical disturbance outside, the electric field inside the cavity is what? 0. Okay, so inside this cavity, if you placed one sensitive electrical instrument which is protected from external electrical disturbance, can be kept inside this cavity. Okay, understand children? So in this cavity, electric field is equal to what? 0. So at this place we can place sensitive electrical instrument. So the sensitive electrical instrument is protected from external electric field or electrical disturbance. Okay, this concept is only we are called as what? Electrostatic shielding. Okay, this is only we are called as what? Electrostatic shielding. So based upon this concept, if you see, Faraday cage is an instrument used to demonstrate this effect. If you see here, it is made up of metal bar. Okay, listen children, it is made up of what? Metal bar. If an artificial lightning jolt, okay, if you listen, this is the artificial lightning jolt, is created outside. But if you see, the person inside is not affected. The person inside is not affected. Okay, so this is only Faraday cage. So based upon the experiment done by electrostatic shield. Next one, very important 2-mark question. During lightning accompanied by a thunderstorm, why it is safe to sit inside a bus? Okay, why it is safe to sit inside a bus than in open ground or under the tree? Okay, open ground or under the tree. So listen children, what is the reason here? The metal body of the bus provides us electrostatic shielding. Okay, the metal body of the bus provides electrostatic shielding. Since here inside here the electric field is equal to what? 0. Okay, so during lightning the charged particles flows through the body of the bus, that is, listen, the body of the conductor to the ground. Body of the bus to the ground with no effect on the person sitting inside the bus. Okay, suppose listen, if you standing here means listen, here the person will be affected by this thunder, because here not the value, the electric field is not equal to 0 here. Okay, understand children? So these are the concept depends upon what? Electrostatic shield. Next come to the topic electrostatic induction. In the previous section we have learned that an object can be charged by roughing using an suitable material. Here, whenever a charged rod is touched by another conductor, whenever a charged rod is touched by another conductor, what happens? The charges start to flow from charged rod to the conductor. Like this, it is possible to charge a conductor without any contact. It is possible to charge a conductor without any contact. That only we can learn now step by step. First, let us consider one uncharged conducting sphere. Uncharged conducting sphere at rest on an insulating stand. Suppose a negative charged rod. The negative charged rod is brought near the conductor. Okay, listen, just we are bringing the another one negative charged rod without touching. If you see here, listen, without touching, the negative charge of the rod repel the electrons in the conductor to the opposite side. The electrons in the conductor to the opposite side. As a result, the positive charges are induced near the region of the charged rod, while the negative charges are on the further side. Okay, if you see here, before introducing this charged rod, the free electrons were distributed uniformly on the surface of the conductor. So here the net charge is 0. Once the charged rod is brought near the conductor, the distribution is no longer uniform, with more electrons located on the further side of the rod. Okay, more electrons are located on the further side of the rod because negative repel. And the positive charges are located closer to the rod. Okay, again if you calculate the total charge inside the sphere, but we are getting here also the total charge is 0. Okay, here also we are getting that what? The total charge is what? 0. Okay, next, now the conducting sphere is connected to the ground. Okay, listen, now one end of this is connected to the ground. This is called grounding. Since the ground can always receive any amount of electrons, so by means of grounding, it removes the electrons from the conducting sphere. Still, if you see here, the positive charge will not flow to the ground. The positive charges will not flow to the ground because they are attracted by the negative charged rod, because here still the negative charge is the same place. Okay, so the negative charge is attracted by the positive, so it does not move. Now, when the grounding wire is removed from the conductor, the positive charge remains near the charged rod. So listen, now the grounding is removed. Okay, if you remove the grounding, again the positive charge is on the same place because we didn't remove the rod. Now the charged rod, okay, now the charged rod is taken away from the conductor. Okay, it is taken away from the conductor. The positive charges gets distributed uniformly on the surface of the conductor. Okay, so by this process, the neutral conducting sphere becomes positive charge. The neutral conducting sphere becomes positive charge. So from this we can say that charging without actual contact, is called electrostatic. Induction. Okay, understand? So listen now. For an arbitrary shaped conductor, the intermediate steps and the conclusion are same, but the final concept is what? Different. The distribution of positive charge is not uniform for arbitrary shaped conductor. The reason you are going to study later. Understand, children? Next topic, dielectrics or insulator. Dielectric is a non-conducting material and has no free electron. Dielectric is a non-conducting material and has no free electron. So, here the electrons in a dielectric are bound within the atom. The electrons in a dielectric are bound within an atom. So, what are the examples for dielectric? That is ebonite, glass, mica. Ebonite, glass and mica are some of the examples of dielectrics. Here listen, children, when you see an external electric field is applied, the electrons are not free to move anywhere. when an external electric field is applied. When an external electric field is applied, the electrons are not free to move anywhere, but they are realigned in a specific way. So based upon that, we having two types. One is, the first one is we are going to see is what? Non-polar molecule. Okay, the first one is what? Non-polar molecule. If you see, non-polar molecule is one in which, if you see here, the center of positive and negative charge coincide. The center of negative charge coincide with the center of positive charge. Okay, so listen children, when the positive charge and the negative charge are separated, that is only we are called as what? Permanent dipole moment. But here listen, both are coincide. So we can say it has no permanent. It has no permanent dipole moment. Okay, once again listen. A non-polar molecule is one in which the center of positive and negative charge coincide. It does not have any permanent dipole moment. Example, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Okay, hydrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Here, if you apply the external electric field, here listen, the positive charge and negative charge, the direction of the electric field is from positive to negative. Okay, so listen, what happened means here listen children, if I apply the external electric field here positive and here negative. This positive charge attract the negative and this negative charge attract the positive. So what happened? Here listen, now it is separated by one small distance. So when an external electric field is applied, the center of positive and negative charge are separated by a small distance, which induces dipole moment. Okay, here what will be created? Induced dipole moment. By means of electric field only, here the dipole moment is created. So only it is called as what? Induced dipole moment. If you see, you know that listen, the direction of the dipole moment, it is from negative to positive. So if you apply the electric field, the induced dipole moment is also along the same direction of the electric field. Okay, here listen, the electric field and the dipole moment both are along the same direction. Next, we are going to see the polar molecule. Here, the polar molecule, if you see here, the center of positive charge and negative charge are separated by a small distance. That means, listen, in polar molecule, the center of positive and negative charge are separated even in the absence of an external electric field. So it is only we are called as what? Permanent dipole moment. This is we are called as what? Permanent dipole moment. So in polar molecules, the center of the positive and negative charges are separated even in the absence of an external electric field. So we can say that it have a permanent dipole moment. Now listen children, due to thermal motion, inside listen, due to the thermal motion, the direction of the each dipole moment, if you see here listen children, the direction of the dipole moment, what is the direction of the dipole moment? Negative to positive. Okay, if you see here listen, here for this, here like this listen, the direction will be taken place in a random order. That is we are called as what? Or in random direction. Okay, so hence the dipole, if you calculate for the net dipole moment, okay, if you calculate the net dipole moment, the answer is what? 0. because each one will be acting in the different direction. And also here one condition, listen children, when it is 0, in the absence of an external electric field, in the absence of an external electric field, the net dipole moment is equal to what? 0. Okay, understand? So we can see the next, what are the examples for polar molecule? That is H2O, N2O, HCl, NH3. Okay, these are the examples for what? Polar molecules. Next, listen children, for this polar molecule, if I apply the electric field, okay, so listen, the electric field is moving from the positive to what? Negative. So this positive charge attract all the negative. So only see here, all the negative will be oriented here towards the positive charge. Okay, here what is the concept here? Negative. So all the positive charge will be attracted towards the negative charge. So once again we can say here, when an external electric field is applied, the dipoles inside the material tends to align in the direction of the electric field. Okay, so listen children, if you draw the dipole moment direction, that is negative to positive, and the net electric field is also in an outward direction. Okay, it is from the past, there is external electric field, and if you see here, the dipole moment both are along the same direction. Hence, a net dipole moment is induced in it. Okay, so listen children, if you consider here, the charges will be created. So for the internal charge, due to this arrangement of the dipole, the electric field is moved from here. What is the charge at the end? Negative. Here what? Positive. So here it is moving from negative to positive. It is moving from negative to positive. Then the dielectric said to be polarized by an external electric field. Okay, understand? Next we are come to the topic polarization. So listen children, in the presence of an external electric field, the dipole moment is induced in the dielectric material. Based upon that, we can say that the polarization is defined as the total dipole moment per unit volume. The total dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric. That is only we are called as what? Polarization. Okay, it is defined as what? The total dipole moment per unit volume. If you see, for most dielectric, the polarization is directly proportional to the electric field. Okay, listen children, based upon the experiment, we know that here, for most dielectric, the polarization value is directly proportional to the strength of the electric field. So, we can write the formula P vector. So, listen, the P, that is the polarization is directly proportional to the electric field. For removing this proportionality, we can introduce one constant term, that is what? Psi E. Here the psi is nothing called as what? Electric susceptibility. Okay, which is the characteristics of each dielectrics. Okay, it is an 1-2 mark question. Next, induced electric field inside the conductor. Let us consider a rectangular dielectric slab placed between two opposite charge plate. That is the capacitor, one is positive and another end is what? Negative. So, the uniform electric field is created between the plates. Because of this external electric field, which polarize the dielectric placed inside the plate. So, because of that, listen, here the positive charge attract the negative and the negative charge attract the positive. So, the positive charges are induced on one side. The negative charges are induced on one side and the positive charges are induced on another side of the surface. If you see, the total net charge inside the dielectric is what? 0. So the dielectric in the electric field is equivalent to two opposite charges sit with the surface charge density. Here listen, this end is we are going to taken as what? Minus sigma b, and this is we are going to taken as what? Plus sigma b. These charges are called bound charges. They are not free to move like free electrons in the conductor. So, when an external electric field is applied on the conductor, the charges are aligned in such a way that the internal electric field is created. That is, listen, inside here negative charge and here positive charge means, listen children, the internal electric field will be created in an opposite direction of the external electric field. The external electric field is from positive to negative. The internal electric field is from positive to negative, it is in opposite direction. Here, in case of dielectric which has no free electron, so the external electric field only realign the charges so that the internal, because of that only, listen, the internal electric field is produced. So if we see the magnitude of the internal electric field, it is smaller than the external electric field. The internal electric field is smaller than that of the external electric field. So we can calculate here the net electric field inside the dielectric is not zero because these two values are what? Not equal. Okay, both are acting in what? Opposite direction, but it is what? Not equal. So the net electric field inside the dielectric is not zero, but is parallel to the external electric field with magnitude less than. Okay, here the magnitude is what? Less than that of the external electric field. Okay, understand children? So let us consider another one example. If you see here, the charged balloon. Okay, the charged balloon, after roughing, it will stick on a wall. So what is the reason here? The negative charged balloon is brought near the wall. Okay, listen, if you roughing means, listen, the negative charges will be taken place on the balloon. Okay, if you bring the negative charged balloon near the wall, here the polarization will be taken place on the wall. Okay, one end is what? Positive and another end is what? Negative. Because of this reason, listen, the wall will be attract the balloon. Okay, that's all about the concept of what? Induced electric field inside the dielectric. Next one, dielectric strength. When the external electric field applied to a dielectric is very large, it tears the atom apart so that the bound charges become free charges. Bound charges become free charges. So listen children, when the external electric field applied to a dielectric is very large, it tears the atom apart so that the bound charges become now free charges. Then dielectric start to conduct electricity. This is called dielectric breakdown. So here the maximum electric field that dielectric can withstand before it break down, that is only we are called as what? Dielectric strength. For example, the dielectric strength of air is 3 into 10 power 6 volt per meter. If the applied electric field increases beyond this, the spark is produced in the air. Okay, that is only we are called as what? Dielectric strength. Here listen children, for mica, the dielectric strength 100 into 10 power 6. Like that, listen, they given paper 16 into 10 power 6, Teflon 60 into 10 power 6, Pyrex glass 14 into 10 power 6. Okay, these are the values of what? Dielectric strength. That is the maximum dielectric field. The maximum electric field that the dielectric can withstand. before it to break down. That is only we are called as what? Dielectric strength. Okay, understand children? Thank you children.